My guest today is Matthew Jones. Matthew is the founder at Haven, a blockchain ecosystem that uses real and continuous biometric data or authentication. We'll learn all about this today. Welcome to the show, Matthew.
Thanks. Hi, Andy. Thanks for having me.
An absolute pleasure, Matthew. Let's do what we do at the beginning of the show. It'd be cool if you could please introduce yourself. Would love to hear a little of your personal and professional backstory. What have you been doing in the lead up to founding Haven?
Sure. Okay. I started corporate background, in the early days, and I've done a few startups since, but I've found myself in the crypto space since um, nearly 10 years now. I had one of the first FCA-regulated crypto companies in the UK, and stayed in very much as, a bit of um, an opportunistic entrepreneurial investor as well. I guess I've seen, we've seen quite big changes since especially in the last 5 years, I think, in the crypto game. So the evolution of it has really become a part, I think, of all of our lives. Even those people that have stayed outside of crypto may not be aware of how much it's very much a part of a cornerstone of the future. So for me, it's been more and more all-consuming and understanding how this is going to play a bigger part in our lives going forward. So in my journey and with a lot of bad experiences too, really led me to understanding what I wanted to do to try and change the space and bring it up to bring it forward the way that we needed it to, especially from a security point of view. So it's not my first startup rodeo, but within this crypto space, within fintech, it's certainly the most exciting.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I think it would be useful then maybe if you could explain a little bit more about what Haven is. So, I guess the big picture stuff, the big vision stuff, if you like, the problem you're trying to solve, that kind of thing. Yeah. What is Haven, Matthew?
Sure. So Haven is we're harnessing biometrics, but through patented technology of continual facial recognition. So the way we need to separate our understanding from that is at the moment, people think that we've got biometrics on our phone, and we do to a certain degree. Use your face to unlock something, but fundamentally it's a bit of a lazy password. Once you've done it, you're in, and so if that phone's taken out of your hands, it's very much an open, unlocked device. So it's a very one-dimensional security feature. And secondly, it can be overridden by a data input being your PIN code or password, and that's the same for almost any biometric wrapped security feature on your phone. What we're doing is we have this technology where it will check continually: is this you? Is this you? Is this you? Multiple times a second. The minute that interface is broken, then the functionality is frozen. So it was actually some family tech the company was created and founded by my father and my sister. I grew up watching the tech from the outside and within the crypto industry saying, well, this is going to overcome a lot of problems. How can this be used within the industry? So what we've done is Haven has taken the license, the exclusive license within to create a crypto wallet to start with. That crypto wallet means that you use your face to get in, but not only that, we've used it to separate data from security. And it's a very important bit because every data breach fundamentally relies on data. Every breach of security relies on data. So we've used the facial recognition tech in two ways. We've used it not only to secure, so once you're in, it will check multiple times a second when you're in a transactional mode. And if it's not you, it freezes automatic, like instantaneously, it can't do anything. So if you're sending, you're in the middle of sending and someone takes it out of your hand, they cannot continue. So your assets are absolutely protected. But what's really interesting is understanding how we've taken that away from the data. So what I mean is the sign-up process does not require your name. It does not require anything other than your email address. We don't need to, yes, it's your face, but your face is taken away from who you are. So we've detached your face from your identity. So we don't need to know, this is Matthew's face and this is Matthew's face that opens Matthew's phone. We don't need to know that this is Matthew. So we've completely detached all of that. So there's no data point of vulnerability from your device, from a server perspective, which makes it pretty much impenetrable from anybody, whether it's prying eyes or whether it's a hacking attack. There's nothing to get, and there's nothing to therefore to break. So what we're really trying to aspire to do is change the way that security is viewed and to protect the assets in a different way.
And so the idea is you're effectively, by using biometrics, you're obsoleting the need for both passwords and seed phrases, which are, I guess, one of the, I don't know, the bugbears. I mean, there are many bugbears with crypto's UX problems, and we can talk more about that. And we'll talk more about cold wallets and pros and cons. But yeah, so no seed phrases, Matthew?
That's right. Again, it's I think when these things were developed, it was developed to the point where we've got to take into consideration the advancements of technology, and we're talking about computer power. We're talking about AI. I mean, even from a biometrics point, we're talking about deepfakes. And we are trying, in the plight of getting rid of all data, yeah, we're getting rid of seed phrases too. So we've got very unique biometric recovery systems using a security set. So what that means is if it was your phone, Andy, and you'd said, okay, well, my backup security circle is going to be my wife, my brother, and my business partner. In the event that you lost access to your phone, an encrypted backup of your biometrics will be stored on their device. So no servers, but on the people that you choose and you trust. In the event that you lose your phone, you click restore. It would send a call effectively to their devices, and they would say, yes, allow Andy to restore his backup to his phone, and it would restore that backup of your biometrics, your encrypted biometrics, to your local device. So what we've done there, again, we've taken away all the data entry points and we've created a new system of recovery.
Yeah, got it. I mean, fascinating. And you call this technology YEO technology, right? So just, you don't need to go too deep into it, but just, I guess, explain a little bit more about the technology, why it's called YEO, anything else that's relevant there.
Sure, it's YEO. It's pronounced Yo, and it's Your Eyes Only is what it stands for. And it went back to the days where messaging and again data, it's a bit of a buzzword, but was once you hit send on something, you don't actually have any control over who's viewing it. So the original idea behind Yo was to make sure that the intended recipient is only the person who has control or viewer capabilities over that data. So it was about maintaining custody of your own data after you click send. That then became into something else that now is being used across multiple industries, whether it's medical, fintech, finance, obviously, but also security. So security at government levels or security forces. It's again, it's to make sure that the intended recipient is the only recipient, and you can see how quickly and easily we're able to bring that over into a wallet feature too. The intended viewer or accessor is only the permitted owner, effectively.
Yeah, got it. And of course, yeah. So there's a public sale. I guess it's an ICO. Is it an ICO? There's certainly there's a Haven token. So just walk us through what is the idea with the Haven public sale. I can see the website. I'll put the website in the show notes, folks. But it's haven-ico.com. 40 days until the public sale starts as we record, Matthew.
Yeah, the idea of the Haven token. So number one, we've spoken about the wallet, but the core thing behind this is we're building the Haven blockchain. The Haven blockchain, again, every user that plugs in it'll use the biometrics. So it'll be the only blockchain effectively where the intended user is always the owner of the account. It'll be impossible to defraud or misrepresent ownership of any asset on the blockchain. What that means on the Haven token is it'll be the only token, the Haven native token will be the only token where fraud and theft of that token at all stages is fundamentally impossible. If you don't own it, you can't access it or transfer it. So with that, it'll also drive the ecosystem. It's a utility token very much. The private sale has begun, so that's primarily strategic investors, and then we open up to a small public round before we go. And the target timeframe is to list on exchanges around March in the coming year, 2026. The point is also we want people to be able to understand from an ICO point of view that this is we've self-invested in the tech. The tech is there. The app is currently pending Apple approval for the App Store, and obviously it'll be rolled out in at the same time on for Android. So you can download and you can see and try the tech yourselves, and it's something that we've already spent a lot of time perfecting and building. So it's not oh, we need your money to create something. It's very much, well, come check it. This really is something that should be the future of security. And then we're going to take the funds that are raised in the ICO to further develop and to launch the Haven blockchain, which timeframe on that we're aiming for September Q3 next year, 2026.
I got it. Thank you, Matthew. And I guess it's also useful just to understand, what do you think about the current landscape of, what I mentioned before, I guess like wallet UX and, the trade-offs between, self-custody or relying on, centralized custodians. There's always, there's no one perfect solution for anyone. And I guess, you're providing one pathway forward towards what could be a better solution. How do you think about all this, Matthew?
It's a good point. I feel like there is a trade-off. There's a trade-off between thinking what is secure and what is not. You get certain insurances and assurances with going onto a major crypto platform like, whether it's Binance or Coinbase. But they're governed in a way that takes control out of the individual. There's something coming into play called CARF next year, CARF, and it's a crypto framework that will actually they'll be sharing the user data and your assets that you're holding into an international government system framework, so that it could be shared with where you live, your government, and effectively for tax oversights. And these are the kind of things that, as they change, you don't, as an individual, get a vote in how your data is treated, your assets are reported. Of course, there's arguments for you should be declaring your taxes cleanly and all of this, but it's not about that. It's about your data, and once your data is no longer yours, and they're not asking for permission to share it, they're just saying this is what we have to do now, and we have to comply. So we are giving your data to, and I feel like data security is something that is massively overlooked, and it's as valuable as your assets themselves. So on the other side, you've got the decentralized wallets, but the risk there is you lose access, or someone gets your keys, or you write them down in the wrong place. Your assets can be lost, and there's no claim on that. They're gone. So what is the answer? And it's not really. It's kind of more like find your discomfort. That if that makes sense to you, it's not like you're really going to be comfortable with either scenario. So obviously, we are trying to solve that. And I think that with the blockchain, we really can. There's something very clever actually that takes this point further, which is within the blockchain, you're going to be able to access your assets from any device or web application, Haven. So what that means is you can log into your friends. You can use your friend's phone and log in through their Haven app. Use your biometrics. It'll call it against your account on the blockchain, and it'll give you access. And the minute you logged out, it doesn't matter if you log out. If you logged into your friend's phone, you put it down, no one can pick it up. If it's not your face, it's always secure. But it will enable access, free access through any device in the world. So now, if you can't access anything unless it's you, and you've got free access anywhere, and you can record it anywhere, I do feel like we're actually building something that can set new standards in access security without having to compromise on what is the most uncomfortable option. Does that make sense? It's a lot of
Yeah, no, it's well articulated, Matthew, and I think it does make sense. I guess, what about user feedback, because it's a lot for people to. Everyone has a different understanding of what privacy means, how their data is used, and look, a lot of people actually don't care too much, which is why they sign their life away to use the terms and conditions and apps like everything from Instagram to Snapchat to wallets, whatever. But I think there is a growing sense that personal data integrity and privacy will be increasingly important in the kind of technologically advanced world that we're fast rushing into. It's fascinating what Sam Altman's doing with WorldCoin. That's the orb devices that they're using. But yeah, I guess the point is, what do you think user feedback will dictate? What do people think of this kind of way of managing their data and their money and so on?
That's interesting. We've had a couple of comments on socials I see, which and there's always going to be a few, but don't trust, don't trust this. They're they're going to sell on your biometrics or whatever it might be. And it's interesting because whatever device they're using to see that advertisement in the first place, they've already done so, right? Um, and I think there's two things. Number one, there's obviously I know the way that the whole product has been created and set up. We have done it so that we're not asking for your data. If we're not asking for it, what have we got of yours to abuse essentially? Then secondly, I guess the encrypted data this is quite an important point. The biometrics are encrypted into um, a numeric format, and it's basically saying, is this them? Is this them? Like continuously, and it's very much a binary yes or no answer. There is no photo or biometrics of you on your phone. It's very much an encryption level system. But what do I say to everybody else about their data? Once you give this stuff over, you can't ask for it back in the future. You really can't. It's something I think is going to become more valuable to people than they realize in the coming years. And you said it yourself a minute ago, Andy. People are signing it out or signing it over very willingly, and I think somewhat ignorantly, unfortunately, without understanding on how much we're going to care about our privacy in the future.
Yeah. I very much agree, Matthew. All right, look, as we start to finish up this part of the podcast, for people that want to learn more about Haven, for people who want to learn more about the Haven ICO, what is the best way for people to take a look at what you guys are doing and start to get involved?
I think you mentioned already the website haven hyphen or dash ICO.com. There's also haven.app, which will take you to the homepage and also with links to the ICO page. The product will be we're just waiting for Apple's approval, and we'll roll out on Android side by side. So download it, give it a go. I think that check the tech and it speaks for itself. I think that people understand very quickly, and consciously realize that we're asking for no data. It's something that we're calling a proof of self protocol. Is it you without needing to know who you are? I'm also intending on doing a lot of AMAs and QMAs. I want people to have as much access to the founding team as possible and get in front of it and answer the questions and get the feedback. So I look forward to doing a lot more of that and getting the public's feedback too. Questions mean everything to our progress.
Fantastic. Thank you, Matthew. All right, well, it's time to start to finish up the episode, and we do that, of course, by running you through the very famous crypto conversation hot take round. Are you up for it?
Sure.
Sure thing, Matthew. Just going to run some questions at you. I just want you to give me your honest answers, hot take style, if you like. Question one for you, Matthew. Very simply, where would you say that you sit on the Bitcoin maximalist to multi-chain opportunist spectrum?
I'm an opportunist. How full an answer do you want?
Fair enough. All right. Well, Matthew, what would you say is your firmest conviction crypto opinion?
Crypto's here to stay and it's the future. I think it's going to blow open a lot of financial abuse that's been going on for years at our cost. And I think that strap in.
I love it. I love it. All right. Look, Bill Gates famously said that we tend to overestimate what we can accomplish in 2 years and underestimate what we can accomplish in 10. So I guess, with that in mind, Haven, what does it look like in 10 years' time?
Hopefully, doing exactly what we set out to do right now and setting new standards for data. People will see it as a data haven and a haven of their assets too. Being everything that we want to achieve. If we achieve that and just keep on doing it well, I think that we're setting out to do something that will last the test of time for sure.
Yeah. All right. Another way of thinking about this is a quote by William Gibson, who said that the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. Can you think of an example of the future being here right now, but most people aren't aware of it?
AI. AI is changing everything, and I think that we're scratching the surface of. None of us can imagine how AI is going to change everything that we're doing in the next in the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. I think it's very much something that we saw in movies, and we still don't know how it's going to unravel and uncover um, a new future for us all.
Makes sense. All right. Brings us nicely to the final question, Matthew, which is, what is your favorite science fiction book, film, or TV show?
I've got to go. I've got to go with the classic 1984.
The George Orwell
Well,
masterpiece.
yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. I think we're living half of that as we speak, unfortunately.
Yeah. Very true. Very well said. Hey, look, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for coming and spending some time with us today, Matthew. Just to again close it out, shout out those Haven websites again, and look, any X accounts that you might have and so on. Go for gold.
Yeah. Okay. It's haven-ico or haven.app. The Instagram and Twitters are haven_official. All of the socials are on the haven-ico.com. So head there, have a look, and also keep an eye out on the app stores.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Matthew. All the best, and bye for now.
Thank you, Andy. Bye for now.